Woke up this morning, got some gabagoo. And then I woke up the next day and got some gabagoo.
So I've just finished watching The Sopranos for the first time, and it should go without saying this is an incredible show, one of the best of all time. Some of the best writing of any show ever, featuring incredible and iconic performances. I really loved watching the show, so I wanted to make a video about it. I didn't feel like doing a review, because what is there left for me to say about it? So today I'm going to talk about my 10 favorite episodes. Please enjoy.
Don't stop.
Number 10, Made in America. The final episode of The Sopranos, the finale, deals with the aftermath of the attacks on Bobby and Silvio. Tony and his family are in hiding as they try to sort out a deal between families and try to hunt down Phil. One scene I want to highlight in the episode is the scene between Junior and Tony. It's a really strong and emotional scene. Dementia I find quite terrifying. Junior's arc in the show, and especially the final season, is really sad to me. I love seeing the kids' storylines in the episode, showing us how they've changed and developed throughout the series, and gives us an idea of their future. I think the story as a whole wraps up quite nicely in this finale. The iconic ending of the episode is famously controversial, and I think it's genius. One of my favorite scenes in the whole series. It's so intense, feels like it's building up to something going wrong, and then bang, cut to black. Killing your main character off screen is a ballsy move, and I love how they did it in this finale.
Tony Gabagool, Grandma. It's nothing but fat and nitrates.
Gabagool, over here.
Number 9, I Dream of Janine Cusimano. The finale to the first season of the show. After the failed hit attempt on Tony, he discovers that Junior and his own mother was behind the hit, which leads to one of the best scenes in the show, where Tony confronts Olivia after she has a stroke. Incredible performance from James Gandolfini. So many amazing moments in the episode. This episode has payoffs and conclusions to most of the show's storylines, because David Chase hasn't realized that he could just leave storylines unanswered yet. This means the episode is filled to the brim with great scenes. Artie confronting Tony over burning down the restaurant, Junior getting arrested, Tony having revenge against people who arranged his hit, Tony telling Melfi to go into hiding, and of course the ending with all the characters share a nice moment in Artie's restaurant. Great, powerful ending to a great episode.
Alright, that's enough!
Keep moving, keep moving!
I tried to do the right thing by you, you're trying to be whacked?
She doesn't understand you.
She's smiling! Look at the look on her face! Look at the look on her face! She's smiling! Come on! Hold this from a slice of gabagool.
Number 8, Walk Like a Man. To me, this episode marks the downfall of Christopher. Even though he doesn't die until the next episode, this episode was when it became clear to me that his time was up. Walk Like a Man is about the feud between Paulie and Chrissy over Paulie going behind Chris's back, take advantage of his father-in-law to steal from his shop. This creates what for me is a very intense and dark episode, leading to many memorable moments such as Chris throwing little Paulie out a window, Paulie destroying Chris's lawn, and then eventually Chris and Paulie reconcile. Chris breaks his sobriety, causing him to believe everyone's laughing at him, which leads to him killing his writer friend. Chris's arc in this episode and the show as a whole is one of my favorites. Chris is my favorite character, and I love how this episode breaks him down and shows us all the worst parts of his character and gives us the impression that this is the end for Christopher, which in the next episode we see is true.
Let's get back to that gabagool.
Number 7, Army of One. The finale of Season 3 deals with the aftermath of Jackie's actions, when Jackie goes into hiding living with Omar from The Wire before he eventually gets killed after Vito somehow manages to sneak up behind him and shoot him. This episode is mainly about AJ, who gets expelled from his school for cheating on a test, so Tony tries to get AJ sent to military school. I think AJ is a super underrated character in this episode, and sees Tony trying to discipline and make sure AJ lives a better life than Jackie. Eventually, AJ ends up suffering a panic attack, which just really shows the similarities he has to his father, even though they're going down different paths, and the pressure he faces, even though he's just an irresponsible idiot. I find AJ's story in this episode really powerful. The episode is also just really funny, like Junior trying to run away at the funeral. The episode has much lower stakes than the other season finales and focuses more on the setting up the future. such as Adriana meeting the undercover agent. This is a fantastic episode, and I have to mention the wonderful singing from Dominic Chianis.
Buscando alivio a mi dolor con la añoranza.
You know, Quasimodo predicted all this.
Number 6, Amour Fou. The penultimate episode of the third season, Amour Fou, deals with the end of Tony and Gloria's relationship, which had been a large plot of the season. Gloria is really interesting in this episode. She really begins to reveal who she really is, which is also just a crazy lady that reminds Tony of his mother. In this episode, we see Gloria trying to start a friendship with Carmela, which was really interesting to see in the car, and how Gloria is trying to ruin Tony and Carmela's relationship, leading to a violent confrontation between Gloria and Tony. The subplot of the episode, Jackie Jr. trying to live up to his father's legacy by robbing a card game that Christopher is playing, which goes horribly wrong, and Jackie's the only one that makes it out alive. It's a great scene. The episode leaves us with the question of what's going to happen to Jackie. The scene between Ralph and Tony as they discuss what they're going to do is incredible. Great episode.
Shut up! Shut up! Stop fucking looking at me.
Come on, hurry up. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Your brother Billy, whatever happened there?
All right then.
Whatever happened there?
Number 5, Blue Comet. The penultimate episode of the show, Blue Comet, features some of the most shocking moments from the series. Paulie tries to hire some Italians to get Phil whacked, but they kill the wrong guy. In retaliation, Phil, who is still mad about whatever was that happened to his brother, he orders a hit on Bobby and Silvio. These are some of the most brutal moments of the series. It's such a dark turn for what is usually a very passively paced show. This episode turns it up to 11, just immediately hitting you with these shocking deaths of 2 major characters. Even though one that ends up in a coma, he's basically gone. The response from the characters with Tony sending the family into hiding in the final scene is perfectly setting up for the finale. One of my favorite endings to an episode. This is also the final episode of Dr. Melfi, who finally realizes that there is no helping Tony, and she decides to kick him out of the therapy with an amazing reference to The Godfather. Amazing episode.
You probably don't even hear it when it happens, right?
There's your friend in there on the wall.
I lost my shoe.
Number 4, Pine Barrens. What do I have to say? It's Pine Barrens, the most famous, most iconic, most quotable, and funniest episode of the show. You already know why it's so great, so I'm not even going to waste my time on it.
You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator.
His house looked like shit.
911, where's the emergency?
Number 3, Members Only. I think this is a really underrated episode. The season 6 opener starts with an incredible montage of all the characters seeing where they are in their lives. It's narrated by a reading of the novel The Western Lands. It sets the perfect tone for the season, and it's just an amazing scene. What I love about this episode is how it takes a step back from our main characters and focuses on Gene and his personal life as he tries to break away from the mob life. It's so interesting to me being able to see the mob lifestyle from someone different perspective. Gene's fate in the episode where he hangs himself in order to escape the lifestyle and free his family is a dark, disturbing scene. And the final scene of the episode is also insane. Tony gets shot by Junior, who has fully succumbed to his dementia. This episode ends with Tony bleeding out, which is a pretty brutal cliffhanger. Amazing episode.
911, where's the emergency?
Number 2, Long-Term Parking. Probably the most acclaimed episode of the series. This episode focused on Adriana and her dealings with the FBI. Adriana has been caught disposing evidence she admits to cleaning up after a murder. And with Adriana's back up against the wall, the only thing she has left to do is come clean to Christopher. The acting in this episode is on another level. Michael Imperioli and Andrea Di Matteo won Emmys for this episode. The emotions and range of their performances is incredible. As an audience member, it is so suspenseful. We're wondering what's going to happen. Is she going to be able to get out? Is Moltisanti going to flip? But deep down, as a viewer, we all know how the story is going to go, but we just don't want to admit it. Adriana's final scene in the car with Silvio. We know Chris is actually in the hospital. We know Adriana is going to get whacked, but we still hold on to the hope that maybe Adriana might survive.
Lay on the floor without holding on.
Fucking gangster asshole!
Number 1, Whitecaps. My favorite episode of the show, Whitecaps, the season 4 finale. When it starts as a mostly peaceful, fun family interaction, and Sopranos' family tries to buy a beach house, this all goes horribly sideways after Tony's old girlfriend calls the home and Camilla answers. This whole season had been spent building up conflict between Camilla and Tony, and it all comes out in this finale. Two powerhouse performances from James Gandolfini and Eddie Falco as they have an intense argument which eventually results in Tony being kicked out of the house. At its core, I feel like Sopranos is a show more about the family than it is about crime and inner workings. The Sopranos family is all on display in this episode. I have to mention the amazing subplot from the episode, Tony tormenting the people who refuse to buy the beach house back from Tony. I find it hilarious. This is pretty easily my favorite episode, mainly due to how strong the performances are. Just amazing episode. I love it.
I don't drink anymore. I freeze it now and I eat it like a popsicle.
And that's about it. I loved watching The Sopranos. It's one of the best shows of all time. Share your favorite episodes below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you next time.